Hey, Carlos, it's so good to see you.
Hey, Charlene, how's it going?
Man, I'm trying to run after you. My shoes, have holes in them because I'm always trying to run around the country because Carlos is making it happen, everybody.
Hey, I'm trying to. You're the one that's always out on the road, but I'm trying to be like you. You know what I'm saying?
Well, if there's anyone that's going to be great to be around and to learn from today, I'm so excited, Carlos, because that's you. You've been this beacon for many of us who are like, I'm just trying to make this easy. And of course, guys, it doesn't hurt that Carlos is a nice guy. It's easy to work with nice people that you actually care about and they actually do what they say they're going to do. So, Carlos, you've been in the industry a long time, and I want you to introduce yourself from that position because you know what it takes to make it happen.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Charlene. Thanks for saying that. It helps when you like people. So like liking people, working with people. Usually, you can go a long way doing that. But yeah. So I've been here at TD Cinex going on 7 years, and I've been in. I know it's like I thought COVID felt like yesterday, and all of a sudden
Mm,
we're back in the office. You'll see people walking around here. We're up and running. We're busy like the good old days. Almost not full
mm.
capacity, but but we're getting there. But yeah, so like I said, been in this MSP space for about 3 years, and if like I said, it was kind of where me and you met a
Yes.
few years back, and kind of got an awesome relationship at the shows, and always trying to figure out how to work together. And so I'm glad we're finally doing it. And then, like you said, just being kind of not a consultant, but more of a we have our inside team that does all of our sales for our MSP customers, and then we kind of have my team, and how we go and help find, help build, help grow, and just help them find and solve problems that they didn't know were existed, and that b that we could just go out there and help them with. And so it's nothing fancy. It's nothing. I mean, like I said, it's pretty simple. But the biggest thing is just making sure that they know that they can come to us for whatever it may be, and then want to show them the way to do it. And it's been a success. We've been how it goes, and we've been burning and churning, growing, helping, and most importantly, just having fun and helping folks out. So it's been good, Charlene.
Well, and Carlos, that's what I care about. And today, guys, you have to understand that he is at the TD Cynics headquarters and he's showing us from his stream exactly how crazy the office can get because they're there with partners, they're there with the vendors, they're really taking care of what they say. This is one of the best partnerships we've ever had. Oh, look at that, making it
Oh
happen. I
yeah,
like
oh yeah.
that.
On a call with the customer. I mean, that's it's kind of the old school way, but I mean, you can't just shooting emails and hope. You got to hey, there's one of my old vendors there, Ruckus.
Hey.
So uh, they're in the office today. So like I said, we're always touching vendors on the phone with customers, and like what I was kind of saying is you can't just hope and get like a shot in the dark and shooting emails out and just hoping for the best. You gotta get out there. You gotta dial. You gotta ask questions, see what's going on, check in on customers, and that's what I said. This live stream is it's unique, I guess, for most of like your webinars. But I mean, hey,
Yes.
it's a Thursday. We gotta get after it.
Well, and that's really the perfect segue, guys, in understanding why Carlos and I came together because we love the channel, we love our partners, and we love the fact that we get to do what we are passionate about every single day. But this is where it starts. It starts in relationships. And Carlos, you and I, literally from the shows in Arizona to the shows like I just saw you in Orlando, like guys, it's the people component that Carlos and I really believe in. And a lot of people forget that part of business. They forget that it's not a transaction. They forget it's not calling them on the 27th day of the month and trying to close a deal because you need it for your numbers. Carlos says, no, it's all about the relationships. It's keeping the integrity. But that's the reason why today's topic is a hot topic. Because, Carlos, you're seeing more and more that MSPs are trying to navigate how to sell AI to their clients.
Yeah, absolutely. You hit the nail on the head there, and especially with the whole, calling someone at the end of the month, hoping for a deal. That's just it's not authentic. It's not going to really get you anywhere. It might help you out for a couple of days, but it's not going to really help down the road. So since day one, me and Charlene, we hit it off, and you really helped paint the picture too. When I went to my first show out there, probably my first ever speaking spot in front of MSPs, and I was nervous. I was so nervous.
He was so good. You could even tell, guys.
Yeah.
He just really
Uh,
cared about them.
but yeah, but I was petrified. But prior to actually doing my speech and my presentation, I saw you break down kind of a marketing topic, and you really broke it down to the MSPs that were there and helped them really just. It wasn't anything crazy difficult. It wasn't anything. Like I said, it wasn't confusing. You really just kept it simple. You broke it down for them, and it was relatable too. Like it was stuff they're dealing with every day. And then this example for AI, like how to sell more AI. A lot of folks think they have to know everything about it right away, right? And I tell the customers that, hey, like it's obviously it's not brand new, but it's relatively new, especially with MSPs on how they can actually sell it. They've been using it for years. We got whether it's college students, whether it's new founders that have used ChatGPT, whether using the Google version, the Microsoft version, whatever it may be, they've been using it and everyone's heard about it. But now it's time to like understand, okay, how can I use this and number one, make money off of it, and number two, how can I get my customer to understand it better as well? So if I'm helping them out, So, anyways, there's so much to like unravel there, but the biggest thing is what I lead with is like, hey, you don't have to know it all. You don't have to know. You don't have to know all of it. You got to understand that we have dedicated resources to help you navigate it, to help you learn new things, and to really just to make you look good. And so it's like, hey, what's Carlos doing? Is he doing all the? No, it's not me. I can't take credit for it, but it is my job to let you know that I said, like we said, that we have the people here, the right folks, the teams that will make you feel a little bit better about it, and they'll just show you one or two little things. You're like, oh, you kind of think, oh, that's not bad, or like. You're like, I do that all the time. It's like, yeah, well, there we go. Just kind of put those two together, right. And then it's like smooth sailing to start, and then it just makes everything else easier. So, but no, you're right, Charlotte. It's not that complicated. It's just you got to find the right opportunities.
Well, and that's why guys, when we talk about AI, and I've done this so many times over the last year. People's eyes just are like shocked because it's like so new to them. And I'm thinking, no, you're not selling AI differently. You're still doing what I consider the selling versus serving. And this strategy, Carlos, has made your career truly successful because how I know you and see you is that you're always serving us. You're always serving the customer. You're serving the partner. You're serving that MSP to know that you got their back. And this is why today, guys, you might laugh at this webinar stream because it's not complicated. It doesn't have 57 slides to teach anybody anything. We've broken it down to just a few key things so that Carlos and I can serve you today because I know you've got 30 minutes, but you've got 30 minutes to change your business and what you're doing with AI. That's going to impact you forever. So, Carlos, in your career, you've always served first and then selling comes after. Why and how do you do that?
Yeah. So number one, like why I believe is, for me personally, it just kind of comes natural. It's easier to get out there and to actually serve and quote unquote help. Whether it's the background I come from prior to being in tech. I was a Chick-fil-A guy, so kill them with kindness. Customer's always right type of attitude. But no, when it comes to when you're out there on the road and when you're talking to the MSPs and understanding a problem they're having, AI related or not, whether it's just pricing, whether it's communication, really anything. So that's the easiest way to do it. And then when you do have the conversation, when you unwrap some, maybe it's been a bad situation, whatever it may be, you end up turning that into, okay, yeah, I did help you, I did serve you, I did listen to you, whatever it may be. But then, hey, in a couple weeks from now, and a couple calls from now, we're getting some business going, we're getting something rolling, and then next thing you know, your sales are going up. This partner is bringing in more opportunities, and then internally they're like, "Oh, guys, this is so easy." Like that's probably my biggest outtake on it is like it's not that difficult. It's really not. People overcomplicate things, fluff it up. They want to get into the weeds and feeds. They want to understand all of the technicalities. But as long as you know that, hey, I have, in my case, at TDSNX, you're serving as a distributor, right? I'm not just selling you a computer or sending you a laptop or something. I'm actually trying to help you grow, help you make some money, right? How do we do that? The list goes on, and then obviously the buzzword for today is just, with this whole AI conversation and people are running away from it, right? People are just like, oh, if I hear AI one more time, it's like, hey, well, don't think about it like that. It's like people run away from Monday mornings. Like, no, like everyone dreads a Monday. Why? Right? You know, that's an opportunity. Like take on Monday, make Mondays be your best. And so that's kind of the idea I've had with AI too, and knowing like, hey, it's going to be out there. You got to do it, and it's evolving, it's changing, it's getting better. Whether it's Nvidia putting something new out or Cisco running new, I mean, everyone's messing with it, right? So that's the biggest thing is I don't want to like be repetitive when I say how simple it is, but when you do have the right folks there to help you and support you, it takes the heavy lifting off you, and then we make you look great, and then you think I'm great,
Right,
but really
exactly.
it's my team on the back end getting it
Right.
going. So yeah, it's a selling versus serving. It's a simple way to look at it, but
Right.
you got to take away that whole selling piece of it.
Well, when you're serving someone, you're trying to solve their problem, not your problem, right? That's the issue.
Exactly. Yeah.
But,
Totally.
Carlos, here's the thing though, a lot of times, selling someone to me is not the way to go about it because they're not receiving you. Like, I don't want to chase a lead. I don't want to chase anyone. If I didn't do my part to market to you, to produce value, to make sure that I'm like, hey, this is what we're doing, I think that's going to suck, right? Because I didn't
Exactly.
do my part. So you can't expect someone to buy from you if you're not doing your part, guys. If you're not marketing, if you're not teaching people, if you're not educating people, it's a problem because you see this person and go, oh, you should be buying from me, and they're like, you haven't done all the work. And I use dating
Yeah.
as a good example, right, Carlos? Like, you would have gotten married to your beautiful wife if you hadn't like done the first thing, which is like open your mouth, right? You got to
Yeah.
show
Yeah.
up. I'm not saying you don't do this, but you would have to show up, with, clean shaven, you showered, you smell good, you had good clothes on. Like, you have to show up and present yourself. It wasn't like you just showed up and told everyone like, hey, Carlos is here, like you should get with me. Like, that is not what happened.
Actually, I'm just kidding. Nah, no, you're right. That's not how it happened, and that's where it's interesting because people think it's just gonna happen like right that. I mean, you got to put in some work. You have to, the example you put, why aren't you buying from me? Why aren't you using TD Cinex? And it's like, I had to find out the reason why, right? I'm not
Mm-hmm.
just gonna be like, hey, look at how many employees we have, look how many people we serve, look at all the vendors we have. Like, I can't just show you something, but okay, and then expect you to bring your business up. That's just
Right.
it's not realistic. It's not going to happen. And if it was that easy, then there'd be 50,000 distributors, right? It's just not the way it goes. So you got to put in the little work, you got to put in the groundwork, you got to serve. But then once you do, like I said, once you do discover, oh, okay, this guy actually does care about me. I mean, I can't tell you,
Mm-hmm.
Charlene, how many times, like when I'm on stage or if I'm talking about our company, I'm not quote unquote, necessarily bragging about us. I'm really just let them know the things I get to do. Some of like the biggest thing is just taking customer experiences and letting them know, some of the experience our customers have had, and let them, hey, this is what happened here. This is what it turned into, and then people are like, oh, that's interesting. Like, I never would have thought about that, right? It's kind of
Right.
how you present it to them and how you show them, instead of doing this, try this, and then see what happens. And kind of like, I wouldn't say trial and error, but once folks see that, and like I said, what I was leaning towards there was, I've had more people come up to me and be like, listen, like, they're like, man, maybe I didn't look any of your slides, right? But you genuinely like seem to be enjoying your job and you like working where you work and you just like seem happy. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, well, number one, I am. So yeah,
Right.
it helps. But it's like they see that, but it's also like it's genuine, and it's like he's not just trying to hit a number. He's not just trying to get all my cash. He's not, whatever the end game is. That's not what they're seeing. You know what I'm saying? So that to me is the number one, pretty much like I guess checkbox when it comes to making sure that the MSPs and the customer knows that, hey, like I really do want to help you out. It's not like a selfish thing that I'm like, oh, I gotta grab it all. I gotta get them knowing everything by AI. It's just,
Right.
sorry about the background.
No, you're good. It's good. It
We
means
got,
that
we
there's
got yeah,
energy.
we
I
got
mean, there's
managers helping
energy.
out, their,
No, don't ever say
their
sorry. You're doing,
employees.
and guys, as we move through this slide, I just want to say this about what you do, Carlos. You put in the reps, right? The guy putting in the reps should win the prize. The guy who just sits back and lets things kind of happen and doesn't do the work up front, that's the reason why you're still getting the same result, guys. We're just using AI as an example because I'm sure there's other things in your stack that you aren't selling well because you're feeling like, well, why don't they know and understand it? Well, not every customer understands why they need DMARC. Why do they need, right? What's zero trust? Like, you're not doing your part to market to them and to educate them. And then when you get to the table, like Carlos said, I can't just come up and brag. We're not bragging. We've done the reps. Our company has done the work to get there.
And it helps too. I mean, and you got to give kudos to the vendors too, because it's not all just us. I mean, the vendors invest, whether it's Palo Alto, whether it's Splunk, whether it's some of these newer ISVs that are getting in the mix. I mean, it's my job to know, like, kind of some of those, kind of the roles that they play, and where the problem lies, and how to make, how to change the problem into a sale. But a lot of credit goes to the vendors as well that are there, because they know they're. I mean, they're in this just like we are. So that's kind of what I like. I got to make sure that I'm, make sure I represent too, and give them some kudos.
Well, the vendors too, guys, the vendors who win with TD SYNNEX and other partners like us win because they're a part of the same team, right? Carlos, you've seen this a lot of times. A vendor can be, totally passive, not even doing their work, and then they wonder why they're still there. And then you got the partners who are there at every show, at every event, doing every webinar, every email. Like, they're just out there marketing. Guys, that's what helps you convert. That's what helps people solve their problems. This is why you're going to say, dang, this is too easy. Why is it so easy? Because we're in the people business.
Yeah,
we're
100%.
solving the problem to make a sale. Solve a problem and it'll make a sale, right, Carlos? It's not hard math.
It's not hard math. It's and you hate to, like, that old little keep it simple, stupid, right? It's like it's really, when you do keep it simple, like it shows. And then, like you said, it's not gonna happen overnight. It's not gonna happen to snap of the fingers. But I mean, I go back to Arizona. When I first met you, and I was like, man, this is interesting. Like, hey, how was the trip? Right, it was great. We talked this, we covered this, and that. And then it's like, okay, what's going to happen? It's not going to happen right away. It takes a little bit of time. It's a little bit of a process. But like I said, once you figure out what is that customer's actually, what's their issue, and you're like, oh, okay. As soon as you fix that one issue, and it's a game changer. Then you can open up the door and, like, hey, by the way, have you heard about Destination AI? And they're like, oh, I've heard about AI, but what's the destination? And it's like, well, we're not going to just throw it all at you. We have a platform that you can go in there, take some quizzes, whatever you want to do on the customer kind of make it their own, which I think is why they call it destination. Because it's like, do I want to actually do these prompts? Do I want to learn this? Do I want to solve, deliver, or evolve? That's kind of the big three there. So it's nice to know. For me, I can genuinely talk about it and then let my guys know, like, by the way, I'm not just saying this. Like, we actually do have these, like, resources. So it makes my life, like, simple. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's like, all right,
we want to make it simple for you. If you overcomplicate things, this is where I consider confusion creates disconnect. Clarity equals the target. Like, that is so important, guys. You got to be super clear. You got to be super direct. You got to be really clear on what you're going to do. Because I think about this, and Carlos, you taught me this at the recent show when we were in Dallas. You said, guys, we just know what we do. We provide great service. We have the right support. And guys, those are the things you always ask for. So when they're solving those problems, just think about your sales process. Are you solving those problems for your customer? Are you making it that much easier for them to use AI, use technology, understand what they need in order to be successful? Or are you complicating it because you're trying to tell them how the clock is made? And you're trying to tell them all the parts of the clock where they're just going, hey, Carlos, what time is it? And Carlos is like, I'll tell you the time. And they're like, why can't you just give me the answer like this?
Yeah, well, that's why solve the problem equals make a sale. Because, and you're like, oh, it just equals make a sale. Yeah, because if you solve that problem, and then your customer realizes, oh, okay, well, that issue that I was having, or those 2 or 3 complications that were a big problem, are no longer there, then it literally just makes a sale. It's like, oh, it's like a light bulb goes off. It's like, why would I even consider, who and them, and what I'm saying? So, not to name any names out here, I don't want to, get in trouble, get my hand slapped. But I'm saying, why even consider those other guys when these guys are the ones fixing my problem and making the stuff that I don't want to deal with go away. You know what I'm saying? So it all leads back, Charlie, to that exact point, the clarity, right? Confusion and not being clear. But once you kind of get that out of the way, then it's like, oh, okay, But But yeah,
And it's
I'm
that
glad you
easy,
put in good
guys.
words.
Well, Carlos, you and I always laugh. When we were in Orlando, guys, it was kind of funny because he and I just sit back and we're like, guys, if we just kept it simple, if you make it about the customer you're trying to serve and forget you about the sale, it will happen. When you make it about you, nothing happens. You wonder why the deal doesn't close. It's because it's about you and not them. And of course, guys, this is the next part of our webinar, which is so funny because Key and I kind of joke about this. It's like, well, we want you to stop the tech vomit. And Carlos, you see this all the time from our partners. I think this is so important because we want you to be brilliant. We want you to know everything, guys. But the problem is that when you tech vomit on them, they go dark. They go and ghost you. Some of them just kind of ignore you. Some of them just wish the meeting was over because they don't understand why you have to be like overwhelming them with all of this tech knowledge.
Because Charlene, I don't want to cut you off, but because you're on a good point.
You're good. You're good. No, go.
Like stop the tech bomb. It's because like, hey, listen, like we know, like I know, Mr. Customer, I know you know it all. Like you're an MSP, I know, because our MSPs they know it all. You know what I'm saying? So there's nothing they don't know, which is great, and that's the confidence you need, especially if you're the CEO and you're running a business and you're trying to grow. Like I already know that you do know these things, so you don't have to tell us more and more about that. It's like we get it. We know that you understand this. We know that you have done these. Hey, you have all these accolades. You did this, and you're yada yada yada. We get all that. So as soon as as soon as that last little piece is taken off, right? It just makes things a lot. It just flows. It flows better. You know what I'm saying? Right. And it's like, quit telling me. Stop telling me.
Start showing me.
Hey, right? Show me
what money. I'm just trying to put down and pick up what Carlos is putting down, everybody.
Hey, that's what it is. That's what it is right there.
And you know what, guys? If you're not telling them the value of it, like what it means to them, instead of telling them, and this is terrible because when you guys show them all these logos, they don't know what those logos mean. They want to know, do you know what you're doing to help me? Because that's the value of having an MSP help me with my technology, right, Carlos?
Exactly. And that's what's nice too. And I'm not trying to take the floor here, but for me personally, when it comes to how I can help my customers is, I a couple of years did business development, learned about certain vendors, right? And then I learned about how to be in distribution and in channel and really what it meant and like what my customer is looking for. So it does help that we're not just, oh, hey, okay, let me see if I can send you a link here or send you there. I can actually, and my team and the ones that are on my direct team, we actually have experience with these, whether it's Microsoft, Container Talk, whether it's like we're talking about AI. I could talk a bit about it, but then guess what? I have an entire team that are, whether they're pre-sales, post-sales engineers, on how to set things up, where to find certain things, and that's where it really, like when I tell them, hey, listen, like you don't have to know it all. Like just let us take it off your shoulders, bring it to us, and then we'll just kind of let things. And then once they see one or two situations kind of get easier for them, that's the biggest thing. Is make it so easy. And they're like, that wasn't very difficult. And it's like, nah, it doesn't have to be very difficult. People just like you said, Charlene, they like to overcomplicate things. They like to, well, last time, everybody does so much stuff like historically, right? Oh, well, this happened. This is what used to happen. This is how we used to. Well, like, guess what? Things change, right? People change. Companies change. Like, people have to change. So that's the biggest thing that I see internally as well, like how our organizations run. It's like, yeah, guess what? Change is not so bad, right?
Exactly.
And that's where I had to kind of talking about vomit. I'm over here vomiting, but talking about for me,
you're preaching. You're preaching. That's what we call this, Carlos. You're preaching.
Hey, I'm trying. Hey, there we go. Right, got to preach
right
a little
there.
bit. But, you got to my boss, my direct boss says, hey, don't run away from some of those things that you're not comfortable doing. You got to kind of grab those and then take them on. And that's what we tell customers, like, hey, listen, like maybe you're not familiar with this, but it's okay. Like, let us do it. Right. And then they become, and it enables them a little bit more to be more controlled. And like, okay, like I do have a little bit more confidence on how I approach this. And that's where it's nice when we're both getting, myself and the customer are both kind of learning, and they're like, oh, and then you get some momentum going. and then just hey, next thing you know, we're sitting on the beach somewhere enjoying an incentive sales trip. You know what I'm saying? So, but no, it's
And guys, that's the goal, right? Because Carlos, what you did was overcome their objections by going side by side with them to see the same objection and understand where they were coming from so that you could really give them the value to solve their problem. You didn't go in front of them and say, well, I'm too smart. I don't want to deal with dumb customers. You were like, oh, no, that's good that you have a question. Let me sit by you and understand what else you need.
Yeah, it helps because if you don't understand it, then you're not gonna be able to help them. And so if you can't make it relatable, that obviously helps if you personally can do it. But listening is probably the biggest thing. It's like, oh yeah, let me listen to what he's got to say, and then you can go and make that happen. So that's perfect right there.
Well, and guys, you guys are going to ask us, so what do we do now that you've listened to Carlos preach? Because he's the preacher, guys. You got to understand, he's been there, done that. He makes it happen.
Hey, listen, my head's about to get outside this camera, like blow
Hey
blow
now,
my head
hey
up.
now.
Come on, you're the person that's really making it happen, which is
Wow, you're
obviously
kind.
kudos to you. Kudos to you and everything you've got going on. Because that's the one thing that whenever you're at a show, there's usually people sitting off to the side, right, doing something, right. But Charlene's in there. She's engaged with literally everyone that's there. She's trying to. She doesn't know about somebody. She's going to learn about it, and so that's what you like I said. You've motivated me to maybe, like I said, do different things. Just go about shows differently, or like
Yes.
travel differently, and the engagement you're doing. Like, what is actually when you get, hey, we had a customer meeting. It's like, what did you really do, right? So I've had great ideas that you
Wow.
shared with me that have helped, and I try to pass those along to some of my colleagues. So, but yeah. What? Go ahead.
But
Sorry.
Carlos, but
Jump
no,
in there.
Carlos, you make it easy and thank you. It's easy when you have the same goal and the same alignment versus, and guys, this, many of you guys have people in your circles that maybe are takers, but every time I've been with Carlos, he's always a giver. And so I'm over there giving and giving because I want him to win because of who he is, what he's done, and his giving attitude to all of his partners and to the customers is so clear. You can see it. And that's why today he's taking some time out of his schedule so that he can help us really achieve this goal, guys, which is, what do you do next? And in your business, Carlos, you and I have been there with many of them who are like, where do I start? What do we do? So we're going to keep it simple, because if we don't keep it simple, you might not ever do it. So let's just keep it simple so that you can execute. So what do they do next? Start where your client is today. Carlos, you always have said this. I've heard you say this, like, well, ask your questions. Ask the client what they need. Like, how do they ask a better question, Carlos? Because I feel like sometimes this is a skill that not many people know.
Yeah. So for that one right there is, for what do you do next? What the question we asked is like, hey, how can we make your day easier? Right? What are some things that you just don't enjoy doing or struggle doing or aren't that great at doing? And then it could be something very simple, but even like I said, but when they are simple, that's usually the biggest ones. Those are kind of the biggest nuggets you find when it's like something that's very maybe it's an underthought, right? It's like but it's like I said, all of a sudden you solve a little problem, and then boom, and then you make it whatever it may be. So, like asking those questions, not just being, hey, give me your business, what can we sell? It's more like, hey, show them some ideas, right? That's what like that. I don't want to skip number 2, like which partner works with you, but that third one, add it into your QBR when I'm doing a quarterly report with the customer. Hey, this is what you bought, and this is what we've been doing. This is where things are going. Those are things that people aren't doing, right? They're not looking at some of those things. So the little non-popular, I guess, speeches or spiels you want to do and questions are the ones that generate, in my eyes, is what you want to do next.
Yes, Carlos. Yes, that's totally true. And guys, you have to understand though, those questions are discovery questions, so that when they are asking you a question about, well, this is what I was struggling with and these are the things that I need help with, this is where you are able to then come in as the expert authority. This is what Carlos is coaching us on this call. This is what he's trying to give us, those simple little nuggets that you can do in your sales process, because they just want to know, can you solve my problem?
Yeah, and to talk to obviously with MSPs, it's and the huge one that a lot of MSPs like, oh well, we are the MSP, we manage and we serve, and we're the providers. Like we do that to our customers. It's like, yes, but how can you do more, right? And how can you do more with less? And that's the biggest question. And I tell them every day, I'm not trying to take your business. Trust me. Like that's not, I don't get paid by taking your business. Cause then, you know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense, but it's how can we make it easier for you to look better to your end customer is the biggest deal. And then, like I said, what they don't know, you can't, if they don't know something, then they'll never know. They'll never be able to do it. So I'm a huge advocate in just plugging information, letting them know, having QBRs. Folks aren't having QBRs with their customers, right? What is a QBR, right?
Right.
You need to do those things. Like I think every salesperson should be doing that with their customers. Just to
and there's an upsell, guys. There's an upsell in it. If your salesperson knows how to do the QBR correctly, you should be able to say, "Oh, you haven't used AI yet? Okay, well let me pick a couple of products that would be good for you. How about you do a demo with it, and then we could talk about it." Like, oh, okay.
See, so that's why you do what you do, because
hey,
2 seconds, and then also, let me do a demo, boom, boom, that they love it, and then like
I'm just trying to run after Carlos, guys, because he's the man, and I'm like, oh, the myth, the man, the legend, and I'm like,
stop. No, stop. I'm honored for you to take time to get me on here and to talk about it, because I mean I could do this. Like I said, this is the fun part, right? I could do this all day long, and it's nice to be able to know that there's other people out there that have the same intentions, as me, and then I want to see me succeed. And on top of that, that's what's like the best part about it is you want me to succeed too, which is, hey, that's like, you're the one that was preaching earlier, right? And so you doing that that's where it's at. It's that collaboration piece, and and there's lots of things you could be doing, but this is something that I really want to do.
Carlos, I know that you're good to our MSPs. I know our partners care. I know our partners and their customers care because of what you've done. And so you've been really what I consider giver, and I want to be able to give back to you because of all the things that you've been able to give to us and to many of our partners in the ecosystem and the vendors. The vendors benefit when you guys have a Carlos in your team, because he is making it happen for you. And that is where, Carlos, I believe solely that, givers will gain all the time. And we need to remove the takers out of our life.
Hey, that's when they put that on the Hallmark card right
there.
Hey, I'm telling you, I'm surprised you don't have some already. I'm surprised you don't do that too. All the things you do, man.
You never know, though. You know what, Sean? I'd be like, "What's up, everybody? I'm at the show," and Carlos like, "Dang, Sean, I want that backpack." I'm like, "I know, it's cool." And that's just how we are, guys. At the end of it all, our goal together is just to help you win more deals together, sell AI, be able to be that trusted advisor. We don't want you to take the back seat to technology. We want you to be the expert, but you need a Carlos on your team to help you get there, because he knows how it works and how it gets done. So reach out to him, connect with him on LinkedIn. I know, Carlos, that you're running a million miles, but I know that you do this because you really care about our community.
Yeah, I do. And it's, like I said, thanks again for having me on here, and reach out to me if you have any questions. Email Charlene. Hopefully I'll run into I'll be August. We're on the road. We're out there. We're back at it. July's been pretty good.
Yep.
August, we're back out there in Boston, Florida, and then back in Jersey City for symposium. So hopefully I better see you at least at one.
I am going to see you, man. Okay. Well, awesome. Thanks, Carlos, so much.
Hey, see you, Charlene. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, guys.